みんなは俺が守れ。
もみちが散らまく。
運命には逆らいません。
痛いから我慢しろよ。みんながそばにいてくれるわ。
雲が借りなくと。
運命よ、ここにいでよ。
隙を見せるのはほんの一瞬だ。さて。
So as in the last vid I told you how to raise a child. In this one I'll be telling y'all how to build him properly. This video contains a basic yet well to understand guide without any numbers cause I know y'all don't touch words. So this is how my stats are looking like. If y'all don't have these stats just focus on a main E build since it's pretty easy to use too. So the first step is a weapon. So if you're a free to play like me the first choice you will have is the stringless. Its main stat is not much of use but its passive is very useful in a nuke child for his burst only. But for constant damage I don't recommend this weapon.
The second option is the Fading Twilight which was available in the Chasm event if you got it. Its passive is kinda nice but child has not really an use of it. So I don't recommend this weapon too but if it's an early game build sure go ahead. I use the Skyward Harp since I got lucky in a standard banner. Its passive is very nice and the crit rate really helps. If you have it be sure to use it. There are some more mentions like the Rust and the Verdant Bow, they both have good substats and passive and can come handy as well. Next step are the artifacts. I have two separate celled play according to my need. But you should definitely run either the Heart of Depth set or 2-piece Noblesse and another 2-piece.
雲が借りなくと。
みんながそばにいてくれるわ。
運命よ、ここにいでよ。
隙を見せるのはほんの一瞬だ。来い。
Next we will talk about the talents. I will be sure to explain them as simply so even a monkey can understand. The first is his skill or Raging Tides. Basically they switch him from a bow character to a melee character and he uses the swords made out of water in the fights. These have obviously way more damage than his normal bow attacks. This skill doesn't scale of his normal attack so no need to level up the normal attack. You can see the multipliers here in his skill description of the attack. The main thing to be wary of if you're not a C6 whaler and a free to play like me is his E cooldown. Since he is going to most of his damage in his E state we have to use him on field but the longer you use his skill the longer the cooldown will go maximum up to 45 seconds. So either you use his skill for max of 15 seconds while 4-piece Heart of Depth buffs you then switch out and use your support characters and then again switch back in or run 2 main DPS in the team. Now his E also has an effect called as Riptide Slash. When you crit with him he basically applies an effect to the enemy and every 3 seconds from then whenever you hit the enemy it creates 3 slashes of water blades onto the enemy. This is very useful as a lot of O damage happens. Be sure to use child and groups of enemies as I'm about to show you now.
Now onto his burst or Q. His Q is simply a nuke you can drop on the enemy to do big damage. It has two forms, one is ranged and one melee. Melee does more damage but the ranged crits more often. Now his team comps. I use the national child team which has Benny for buffing him with a 4-pace Noblesse. Shanling for constant vape damage. Kazuha for crowd control but mine as well as built as a main DPS. This was all for his guide. Now sit back and enjoy an Abyss runs with him.